All right, so I just made it over the bridge. I'm down looking at Times Square from the extension, and there are little obstacles. They're not apparent, but see this little storm drain right here? It's sticking up with a sharp angle. You gotta be careful if you make this turn real sharp. You clip that could really mess up your tire. Anyway, some of these places here were built 30 years ago, right after Hurricane Keith. Hurricane Keith had a 5-foot storm surge, and it was only a Category 1, but they built these things. Look, here's winds. The building survived, but not the inside. And every week I come down here, there's more and more what I call open space. So I'm not going to go down Old San Carlos Boulevard because a lot of the businesses down here, well, some of them were destroyed, but some of them, this actually was the best area. In a business terms, before the hurricane, that was one of the discount areas, and people, look at, here's another Wynn store completely wiped out. Look at, here's a hotel completely wiped out. And there was a hotel here too. It's gone. There was a hotel. Now you can see what's in back of the hotel. Wow. See, look, there was a hotel in back of this hotel, and that's gone. And these bulldozers, you can see those homes over there completely wiped out. They look like they're standing, but you get up close to them, they're gone. They all need to be knocked down. You're going to notice more and more open spaces occurring here. So here's a hotel that I wanted to buy. I still want to buy it. This thing did sustain significant damage, but the structure held up great. And let's face it, now with businesses like this could not afford flood insurance anymore. The flood insurance has gone from a typical single-family home from about $1,500 a year now to between $5,000 and $9,000 a year. These places, you're looking at flood insurance about $20,000 a year now. So you have to be self-insured. And here's the old 7-Eleven, totally gone. The roof survived, but they've been demolishing it now. There's a fence around the lot. This is sad. This is gone. This used to be a parking lot here. It had a little teepee and benches, and it's gone. I mean, look down some of these roads. There were a ton of homes here. Now there's just the big megalith homes, and you can see that the ground floor, even those windows were blown out. And that building over there, that's the most amazing thing. That's a wooden building that survived. This here looks like a wooden building, but it's actually concrete with a metal overcoat. I'm not going to go all the way down to Pink Shell. Pink Shell survived the best because, you know, it's made out of concrete. But I just want to give you a taste of what went on here. And again, there's nails and screws everywhere. And I really have to drive on the road. And it's unfortunate that the car tires pick up the nails for me, so I don't have to drive over them. But look at this. I mean, there was never open space here before. This reminds me of Daytona Beach in the late 60s, early 70s. And I was like, why is there so much open space? And that's because a hurricane went through that area a few years before and wiped out everything that was there. Reminds me of the Panhandle. You're like, why is there like only one home on the Gulf of Mexico when there should be like, it should be packed solid? That's because a hurricane wiped out all those homes and only one home survived. Coming up on the left, this Best Western, I was commenting, this is a great place right now for a casino. See, this would be, you'd have to build the parking garage on that side of it, and then the casino could be built on this side of it, because there's open space. Look at all this. Plenty of, you buy all this land now, and right now it's selling cheap because there's nobody down here. There's no real estate firms down here, so you can't really conduct transactions. It has to be an all-cash deal or all-seller finance. So we're going to find that. Sellers, wow, they need the money. That's why they're selling cheap. So if you can get your own financing, and the SBA will go up to $1 million, but unfortunately that won't cover this. And you're going to have to get a zoning permit, a big one, to get gambling here and grease somebody's hand big time. But I can see an 8-story parking garage here, taking up this entire land right here. Although the land itself is going to be, you're looking at least $4 million. But again, all I see is a refrigerator. I see a new inlet forming. I see a pool. So it looks like they're going to rebuild because they obviously want to keep the pool. That's why they've marked it. And they're going to demolish everything else and rebuild. And see, they have hope. They have hopium. Look at these homes. See, the ground floor is wiped out. These homes are lucky because they've already started rebuilding the ground floors. But the second floors, yeah, the magic number on this beach was 20 feet. I'm not saying that there wasn't a marauding wave that went above 20 feet. Just that the marauding wave of 20 feet didn't go through this area. When you have two 17 and 19 foot waves, they slap into each other. They create a 20 plus foot wave, maybe 22 feet. But they just got lucky in this area. They didn't have that 22 foot wave. There were some businesses on Little Cerro Island that did, I mean, look at this open space here. Wow. I mean, they did a great job cleaning up, but there used to be homes here. Where did they put all this stuff? Like over here, this building. I don't want to turn the camera too fast. This Dolphin Resort. The first floor and second floor, waves went through. So, not the ground floor, but the first floor and second floor, waves went through. So, wow. So you can see how high the water went. Like this little building here, I would love to have this building. Even as a real estate office, I would fix it. I would live up there and I would fix the ground floor. That'd be awesome. And you can see that this used to be the area where they did their laundry, and there's one washing machine left. Probably doesn't work. And the waves definitely went through that first floor. It definitely went through the ground floor, of course. I'm just panning back over here, just so you can see all the open space I'm talking about. Now's your time. If you want to buy real estate in Fort Myers Beach, if you got cash in hand, that's the key, because seller financing and insurance is just going to be astronomical. You're not going to be able to afford some of these financing. I mean, with interest rates now at 6+%, plus points, plus flood insurance, which now is almost mandatory on all government financed loans. Forget it. No one's going to buy. And that's the thing. Now, real estate prices are going to start collapsing because no one's going to be able to afford to buy anymore. For one, they can't afford long-term interest rate. Forget that. Variable rate, who knows what's going to happen. Look at this thing. That deck was split in half. Now that's a nice building there. They put some money into that. But obviously they had to stop building until the hurricane went by, but that's going to be highly sought after. This, see, a lot of wood. But at least the first floor was done. You know, probably there won't be another hurricane like this in another 30 years. So here's more hopium. When you have a fence around a place, you have hopium. They're going to rebuild this. It's an older property. That looks like built in the right after Hurricane Donna in 1960 something. And that was built in the 80s. Belfour restoration. Okay, they're probably charging them $2 million to restore the property. Look at this home over here. Totally knocked off its... that wasn't a ground floor house. That was a house on stilts. It was knocked off its stilts. Yeah, totally gone. Just waiting for the demolition crews to come up here and crunch that stuff and put it in a truck and take it away. Here's a car again. Just sitting there waiting to be towed away. The owner hasn't claimed it yet. And then over here... I mean, you really can't see it, but there was some kind of, I wouldn't say an elevator, but some kind of storage unit that got wiped out. Again, waves in this area went between, well, the storm surge was 12 foot plus 5 to 7 foot surge, so 12 plus 5 is 17 to 19 feet, and then you have the marauding waves on top of it. Okay, so you have the pink shell coming up, and again, water went on the ground floor, and definitely the first floor, potentially the second floor. But they survived. They pretty much, you know, every hotel though in this area had their laundry facilities on the ground floor, and they had a lot of their food prep on the ground floor. So those were wiped out. Of course, any pools or anything else was on the ground floor got wiped out. I'm turning around here. I'll tell you what's at Bodwich Point. The bathroom facilities for the most part survived, except for the beach piers that went towards the beach. The half of it survived, the other half got blown away, and that's mostly what happened up here at the Fort Myers Beach Pier. Fort Myers Beach Pier, just the pilings are there. There's no like base concrete, and there's obviously no railings. All that went in that little store and the end pavilion. Those were totally washed away. So again, just looking over here. I'm driving kind of slow because I'm holding the camera with one hand. I wish I had a helmet cam or something. Fortunately, I don't. A lot of gawkers. People are looking. Some people are looking to buy. You know, this is the opportunity right now. I mean, this is seasoned, which is sometimes hard to fathom. This is season right now. This place should be happening. It should be packed, and there's nobody down here. That's the sad thing. So where all the tourists go? I mean, did they go to Pompano Beach? Did they go to Orlando, possibly? Did they go to, you know, Hollywood Beach? Did they go to the Keys? You know, Daytona? I wouldn't go to Daytona. I don't like Daytona Beach charging $20 to get on the beach. That's ridiculous. $20 for what? No one's out there, and then the beach is like, it's nothing. This area has a nice beach. And Fort Myers Beach now, the beach goes out 30 more yards. So the beach has grown, extended by 30 feet. And the beach elevation has gone up on average, 2 feet in elevation everywhere. So you used to have to walk down to the beach on Fort Myers Beach by the pier. Not anymore. The beach is level with Times Square. So when the Times Square pavement ends, you walk horizontally out onto the beach, and you walk out in the beach for a good 40 yards. Again, 30 plus more yards beyond where the waves used to crash into Pier 1. Sometimes you would walk around the concrete that Pier 1 had. Not anymore. The beach goes out 30 more yards. So, I mean, probably next summer, the beach will reclaim some of the, I mean, the sea will reclaim some of that for sandbars, but it seems like Hurricane Ian just took all those sandbars and just churned them up and just threw them onto the beach here. A lot of these canals, I'm not sure if you can see it over there, a lot of devastation. A lot of these canals are full of sand. They have to dredge them. There's a house over there, got everything stripped. Again, that needs to be demolished. Again, more empty space. Even right here, empty space. There used to be a house there. All this land was all taken up. And everywhere I go, there are these marauding trucks that are going like 80 miles an hour on these back roads. They must be getting paid time and a half or something. I don't know, but or I guess this is Sunday. Maybe if they're union, they get paid triple time. All driving 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour on these back roads. Look at this. There's still some boats that are high and dry. So that home collapsed off its stilts again. It was not a ground floor house. It was on stilts. All right, let's take a drive back here because this road's open. Again, I don't really know this road because there's not that much traffic. You know, even when the trucks pick up the garbage, they start dumping nails and everywhere. Nails and, you know, toilets, porcelain, shards of that. One shard of that will puncture my bicycle tires in an instant. And it'll puncture it in an unrecoverable type of way. I won't be able to patch my hole. I'll have to buy a whole new tire. These tires are getting expensive in the store. Yeah, look at that. There's steps that lead up to nowhere. That house, obviously, look at that. For the first half of the house, completely wiped out. You see that tree? That's a Norwood land pine. See the top of it got sheared right off. And there were tornadoes down here too. Look at this. This is one of those cabbage palms or pineapple palms. Doesn't look like a pineapple palm anymore. So anyway, we saw kind of like that ends of the road. Obviously, somebody lives here. And that's the smart thing. If you're planning to rebuild, put a fifth wheel in because, see, they got cars in there, so they've pretty much. You see the garage doors cracked right there, but their home looks pretty presentable. So they're doing their due diligence. There's another fifth wheel over there. Where you don't see the fifth wheels, that's the problem. This little house right here looks like it survived pretty good. So whatever they did something right here. They really fixed up their home fast. Must be made out of concrete. Must have mostly survived. But yeah, they did a great job. That home over there pretty much survived. That home survived. See, someone's living in there. They got a tarp in there. And but look at all the open space now. I mean, look at, you're not too far away from the beach, and this, you might be able to get these lots for $200,000. I mean, this could be an opportunity. Look, there's a house. I mean, there's a lot with a pool. It already has the pool. You just need to put the house in. A lot of these lots are on canals too. So this is a good. So they're trying to renovate. There's Hopium. They're trying to fix up that wooden house down there. Somebody probably just bought that house for $1 $1 million, and now the property, look at that house, is totally gone. Just some old pilings need to be cleared out. Obviously there was a couple homes here, totally gone. And here's another thing, the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal. Now this thing is just sitting here. It looks like some people, it's an Escalade. People have been trying to steal it, steal everything from it. The fire marshal of Fort Myers Beach seems to be a communist overlord, but he's the one who has say over people who could live in their homes, over businesses that could reopen. I mean, these businesses are hurting. They need to reopen now. People need to live in their homes. And this fire marshal here, he's like a real communist. I mean, communists stink. For him to be causing so much additional pain, you know, these people, residents here hope that government, you know, provides them with the services that they need in times of need. This being a time of need, they don't want communism. There's somebody living in their RV, their home's gone. I don't know, I guess they're going to be their permanent home. You're looking at about $20,000 to $30,000 for that fifth wheel. But again, this is the soft underbelly now. Now's your chance. I mean, there was, after Hurricane Irma, there were homes in, not Irma, after Hurricane Charlie in 2006, there are homes on the Cape Coral estuary that were going for, I just missed a nail there, that were going for $3 million right before. After, $300,000, so 1/10. So now's your chance. If homes are going for 1/10, then if these homes are going for $2 million, now $200,000. I mean, the lots alone are probably worth more than the homes, but a lot of these lots you have to pay for reconnection because the connections have also been wiped out. So you're looking at between a $5,000 and $10,000 connection charge, and that's all connections. That's sewer is gone, power is gone. Look at this road. See, so much sand. They made a little sand berm around this parking lot. That was pavers too. Very expensive parking lot. See, that's what happens. See, concrete or asphalt is better than pavers. Now, of course, you did get your pavers resanded, and that saves you every 5 years. You have to get them resanded. So, thank you, Hurricane Ian. You resanded his pavers for you, filled in those gaps, took out the weeds. Nice. I see that building put new air conditioners in. They have them on temporary scaffolding. So that's pretty cool. I do like this this hotel though. The pool's been drained. I mean, let's face it, you're the only one around now. And there are some places that are showing signs of reopening. The Lighthouse Resort is open, although half of it was severely damaged. They lucked out because Margaritaville took most of the waves, and Margaritaville's made out of reinforced pre-stressed concrete. So again, look at this. It just, the shell exists, but inside's totally wiped out. You need everything. You need new electrical, new power, everything. All right, so here's Times Square. And there used to be signs here that said no bicycling, but so here's, let's see, the Naughty Pelican used to be over here. That used to be Tex-Mex. I don't know what it is now. Naughty Pelican. Then this was Kilwin's Fudgery. That's gone. And then over here used to be Palaka. I see Palaka's gone. And you got Pier 1. That was over here. You see, there's the Fort Myers Beach Pier. You see, it's just kind of like some walkway, but it's gone. The rest of it's gone. And then you have Topo Mast, it's gone. Again, prime real estate. I'm surprised if Margaritaville, you see that concrete structure, that's Margaritaville, they're going to pick up all this land. And they're going to put a casino on this land. I mean, this is going to be awesome. I would love to buy this tower. This is an elevator tower for, this was West Coast Surf Shop. There used to be Sea Dreams over there. I don't know what it is now, but that, thank goodness they put it in concrete. That survived. And these two buildings here saved old San Carlos Boulevard. See how close they are? They prevented a lot of that storm surge from going down and totally pulverizing those wooden buildings down San Carlos Boulevard. So San Carlos Boulevard should owe those 3 buildings some gratitude. There's a Christmas tree you could put on your blessings for the people that survived and those who didn't make it. And again, there's between 10 and 20,000 still missing. Come on, after 3 months, if you don't check in for work, you don't pick up your check, you don't pick up your mail, you don't show up for work, you should be considered, deceased. So, which is sad, but they still are unaccounted for. So much was also pulled out to sea when the 12-foot storm surge, and it went a good 20 miles inland, and that decided to turn around and go back out. It pulled a lot of stuff out to sea, and a lot of the inlets you see here in Fort Myers Beach, you don't really see them now, but right after the storm, there was many, maybe up to about 20, and they were deep, and a couple of them cut right through Estero Boulevard. They had to fix them. And, okay, we just drove under the bridge, though, going over Estero Boulevard. Here's Ocean Jewels. So you can see that the building survived pretty nice. But the inside, and now it's for rent. Maybe I can put my real estate business in there. Here's a surf club, which used to be Waffle House, and now this is like one buildings that survived. Again, all the electrical is gone. So you put in new electrical, new air conditioning. I mean, it's just a shell of a structure. You may have to demolish it. You have to put in new plumbing too. Look at this. Beached Whale. I forget where it is. Right there. It's no longer there. It's gone. The 7-Eleven next to it is gone. I don't know what was there. I think that was the Silver Sands Resort Hotel. Gone. And look at all this open space. I mean, look at up here. We're right near Lanakai. All these buildings, again, hopium. Yeah, anywhere you see fences, people have hope. Like, I know they're going to rebuild the 7-Eleven because they were insured. So anywhere you see fences, there's going to be some kind of rebuilding. There's a fence around this. I'm not, let's hopefully they rebuild it. But look at this place. Now they're doing the smart thing. They're open for business outside. But how many tourists are there down here? Hello. And it's sad. It's a beautiful temporary display. And but Lanakai's closed. So these people that have, like even we just passed. I'm gonna get off my bike for a second. Even right next to 7-Eleven, there was a parking lot. There was 2 buildings in here. Look at that. There's even homes even back in there. They're only becoming apparent now because more and more buildings are being demolished and towed away, and you can see further into the destruction. But these buildings being behind Lanakai were protected a little bit. So even though there was still a 12-foot surge, those marauding 17 and 19 and 20 plus foot waves smashed into the Lanakai. Now if you look over here at the Lanakai, they don't show it because they cleaned it up, but there used to be a roof there. That whole roof on that top level collapsed, but that was a makeshift roof anyway. They kept on building out that top floor until it finally extended over the whole roof. Now the water obviously wiped out the entire ground level, so all those businesses that were in here got wiped out. So again, if you have a business, you want to be in Lanakai, now's your chance. The little steps here used to go over like a little type of a stream waterfall. Obviously that's gone. Probably they're not going to fix that again. But the water got into the first floor and the second floor. So the bottom floor, where you see that blue level, and the next blue level, it didn't get as high as the that Aztec level up there, but it got into the 2 bottom blue levels. And those floors, significant damage. The first floor, all those got wiped out. Obviously the water was, got up past the ceiling. And then on that second floor, the blue level, it probably, because it took the brunt of the storm, it got up probably 3 or 4 feet inside the room, with a marauding wave potentially touching the ceiling on that floor. So And then there's the Lanakai extension over there. Again, they got, you know, potentially all floors over there got it. The third floor got it maybe a foot or so. But look at all the buildings that are gone. I mean, remember there was like a hot dog joint right here, and there was another one behind it. It's gone. So anyway, we're going to continue bicycling. We're going to stay on the road today. I can tell you that the beach looks awesome, and it looks like it's low tide right now. The interesting thing, there's nobody on the beach though, so there's no point in driving on there. The action now is inland. So, but the beach is awesome. You have 30 more yards. The beach go out farther into the sea now, and then you also have 2 feet more in elevation. Now the thing about the beach though is that there is still a lot of, I wouldn't say junk or flotsam floating up, but you just gotta be careful, because there is a lot of new sand, and when you have new sand, you have new sharp shells, and like just like I dodged some porcelain there is some other debris that's washed up from land. So it's not big. It's still, the beach looks like a beach, but there is that periodic, you know, 1 every 20 yards, you'll see something that doesn't look like it's a beach object. And again, with time, that will cure itself and go away. So I passed over something. I have to back up and take a look at it. There's a look at that shopping center there. The first floor totally wiped out. The second floor got significant damage. And of course the roof, that's one of those copper roofs, so it should have sustained, it should have made it. It took a lot of, now this property here survived pretty much intact. This is an amazing property. They had actually air conditioning in. People are still living in these places right after the hurricane. So this is one of the few areas that the roof pretty much survived. The air conditioning on the roof pretty much, I mean, it stopped working only because the electric was cut off, but this was one of the success stories here on the northern end of the island. So, all right, let's see. I saw something over here on the ground, and I wanted to take a look at it. And of course, now I can't find it. It took my eye off the prize. Hold on, I'm gonna bend over and pick this up because there's an eye. All right. So I didn't know if that was a quarter or not, but I picked it up. Looks like a quarter. Anyway, I'm gonna put it in my pocket and see what happens. I only stoop for quarters. Anyway, this is a shot of Lanakai, and you can see that the moped rental place is gone. I mean, obviously all the property here is gone. Look at all this open space. And then right over here, it's hard to imagine. That was Hooters right there. That's gone. Hooters is gone. And again, I don't see any hopium there. I don't see any metal fence around the property. Now these properties over here, that one over there was wood. I'm amazed that survived, but they have concrete pilings that survived. You see these places, that one on the beach over there, looks like a wood piling, but that survived. This one closer towards us, that's a concrete piling, but a metal roof. So metal roof helped out. So that has a metal roof over there, and these two have metal roofs, so that helped out big time, and concrete pilings, and many of them. So the water, the power, and I'm telling you, looking at that surge come through, and these waves are coming through between 5 and 10 miles per hour. When you have that much water coming at that much speed, you have force, and you better open wide and let that force go through. And that's why these pilings, even if there was something there, wasn't there anymore. You can see, I mean, all these buildings that were washed away and destroyed. The amazing thing is all these palm trees survived. These are royal palms. I found that royal palms, Christmas palms, king palms, coconut palms, they pretty much, and cabbage palms, and those palmetto palms there, they pretty much survived. So the water covered them up, but they have big root systems, and they have big tap roots. That's the old post office down there. That was totally wiped out. Definitely not a post office anymore. The inside completely gutted, ransacked by water. Nothing survived. All the $10 trillion postal machines in there that they built taxpayers on, completely wiped out. Now this, I think, used to be a bicycle rental place. I could be wrong. Anyway, totally wiped out. So I was just waiting for demolition crews to come here and wipe this thing out. Again, you could have hopium. Someone built a ramp to try to get in there. It says Mojo's will be back, but I don't know. We just passed that little hardware store. Everything's wiped out. That's the old moped store over there. Moped bicycle rental. It's hard to recognize it there because there's no mopeds or bicycles there. Totally gone. We're gonna get off the road here because these cars are looking at me like some kind of maniac. Anyway, see, they have a fence around this place, so they're gonna rebuild. Lowe's Pro. So again, ground floor, and this place, second floor, definitely got water up there too. So anyway, there's a fence. So here's another moped rental place, totally wiped out. Okay, hold on, I'm going back on the road here. Oh God, there's a lot. I see room keys on the ground there. You got to watch out for them. They're sharp. So yeah, this place is just waiting to be demolished. Here's the roof, completely collapsed. So even over here, you can see the hotel. Look at the ground floor. See all the doors open? Yeah, well, the second floor got worse too. And see the beginning of the building there? Completely collapsed. Look at that. You have to go slow. See, on a car, you can't see this. You have to be on a bike. This is Diamond Head. And Diamond Head, they had all their food prep, all their laundry, their elevator and backup engines are all on the ground floor. Got wiped out. So I'm not sure if they got the elevators working, but it's Bellman luggage drop-off, so I don't know how they get it up. Maybe they have a hand hoisting elevator or something. One of those dumbbell elevators. This real estate place survived. Well, I say survived. They did the most. It survived the most because of its structure. It got flooded inside, that's for sure, but they had the least amount of stuff inside. And this old pizza place that I think it now is a real estate place, but it used to be a pizza, then it became a law firm. They're back. The Shamrock, that's destroyed. You had Armando's Day Spa, that's wiped out. Over here you had some kind of real estate place. Again, hopium. They think they're going to rebuild. I mean, the roof survived. Look at that. But inside, no. The water got well up on top of the roof. So just people of hopium. That's all. But no, it's gone. They're just waiting for a demolition team to come and finish the job. That's why you have all. Here's a really this used to be a 7-Eleven back in the 1970s. Then it was that Lucky 7, all because they had the old 7-Eleven sign, so they used Lucky 7. That's totally gone. This used to be an old hardware store. This building survived pretty much intact. The insides, of course, are wiped out, but if any building could be rebuilt or is a good investment opportunity, this is the one. Again, go back on this side of the road here, looking at this hotel here. I mean, you can just take a gander between. It looks like it survived, but it didn't. Here's another bicycle rental place. This had a lot of electric bicycles, totally wiped out. Some of the electric bicycles are still in there. Water got in the lithium batteries, forget it, it's gone. You can't resuscitate them. Electronics, all those electric bikes, might as well just dump in the garbage. Again, hopium here. People are still living here because they have nowhere else to go, but you know, if the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal sees them living in here, he's gonna be the communist that he is. And put a red notice on people, like over there. That used to be the beach connection, totally gone. See, someone's gonna rebuild here. And then this was a church. It's got a big roof that, you know, chapel by the sea. Yeah, totally gonzo. Needs to be demolished. There's no way. There's no way the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal is going to allow that to be rebuilt. He's going to insist that be demolished, which is terrible. And then you have what should protect the citizens against the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal is you have the Fort Myers Beach government. Of course, this building got completely wiped out, except for the second floor there. I don't even know why there is a Fort Myers Beach government when there's so much communist. You know. Yeah, they're still in there using taxpayers' money. And over here, again, the buildings right by the water survived because they're built high and they have good concrete pilings. And then These tropical shores, again, built well. The ground floor sustained severe flooding and damage. This is the old Tops. It used to be the old Winn-Dixie first, then it became Tops. Now it's the FEMA. Let's see, emergency management. Now, there is a Fort Myers Beach like park over here. They did have a pool. Now it's totally gone. They use that as a garbage. Now these homes look pretty good straight in front of me here. They obviously fixed them up and people are living here. Here's the Beach Shell Inn. That's the same again. It looks like it survived, but nope, all levels got flooded. So it's just gutted and it's waiting for somebody to buy it. And here's some wooden buildings here, totally ransacked again. Fort Myers Beach will not. You see that occupancy sign. A white one means they can have temporary occupancy to allow repairs. Then there's some kind of yellow one that says warning. You have to meet something or else we're going to close you down. And then there's a red ones where you cannot occupy this. It has to be demolished. It's terrible. So here's some homes right there. Hello. There's a tiki roof over there. This home, so you keep out private property. When they say keep out, they want the fire marshal to stay out because he's the one causing all the crime. And there's a library. Again, I don't know why they have a library down here when you have the internet. All you need is like little internet terminals. You don't need to have a huge monolithic library that consumes tax dollars for no good reason, especially when they're going to put a fence around it and prevent you from using it. Doesn't make any sense. And we just passed by this little, it's sad, but that was a couple months ago, about 5 months ago. I did a story on that La Villa Resort, like how that was a good buying opportunity. Well, good thing you didn't buy it. It was a terrible opportunity now. It's totally wiped out. And then there's, the Fort Myers Park is back there, but I'm afraid to go back there because there's, I don't know, you twist my hand, I'll go back. Just gotta be careful because there's all these big marauding trucks around here. Going about 80 miles an hour. Again, this being a Sunday, I guess they're getting paid triple time. This plaza here, well built, but everything ground floor got wiped out. Look at that door, how the force of the water, that was a locked door and the water twisted it. Most of these doors were blown off. Yeah, that's not the door was removed, they were blown off. See, there's one that survived, but when you have 6 hours of raging water coming through here, with the hurricane winds gust up to 180 miles an hour, wow, that could push a wave at you at a good 50 miles an hour, 6 foot high wave. That's like having a semi truck driving at you at 60 miles an hour, and that would destroy my house, that's for sure. So I don't even want to show you the height of the garbage because there's probably some communist that's looking at me. He's gonna tell me to leave. I'm gonna go down the street a little bit just to see what's still going on. See, there's some piles that still haven't been picked up. Again, some people have hopium and some people late arrivals that are now doing some cleanup. That building looks like it survived for the most part. But as you can see, someone put a new fence on here, so that's after the storm. So, and you can see even the back. So, oh, there's a school entrance here. I'm not gonna go back here, but you can see that in the estuary here, all the stuff that was, you can't even see it. There's just miles and miles of debris packed. And this is before you get to what do you want to call it, Matanzas Pass. Even farther back than Hurricane Pass, you're going to get debris from Fort Myers Beach that was blown back there. You can see over there, there's a part of the pile, but that pile goes for almost a quarter mile in every direction, and it's some places it's 80 feet tall. So you can see it over there. This is a school. Again, the school looks like it survived. You know, a lot of these windows and doors look like they will survive, but believe me, it was flooded inside. The water got in. It got in from the roof. It came down and from the roof in. You know, it came in from backed up the toilets. The air ducts have backed in. Look at this. This house was sold. I like that sold sign on it. That's a good one. But no, this house is totaled. Probably was sitting down the road a little bit. Anyway, it's pretty sad. A lot of these homes look like they survived, but they're done. Except for this house here. This guy fixed them up. It's pretty good. Hello. I like your puppies.
How are you?
I'm just admiring the homes.
No doubt, no doubt. The slow cleanup begins.
I know. So yeah, there's a dead end over there. I'm not gonna go down there. It looks like there's a lot of hopium over there, and I don't see the RVs, but you know, power has been restored. It took them almost a little over a month to get power restored. So now that there's power, and if you have at least one room in your house where you could, you know, turn the AC on, and you know, you need that, because I was doing 24/7 work for like 2 solid weeks at my house, and I had air conditioners that were burning up. Floor air conditioners. I lost 2 of them. And you know what? I'm not going to get anything back on that. My income tax return, you know, I'll definitely have to file itemized, but I don't know where to begin. I mean, I lost a pool pump. That's like $1,000. 2 floor air conditioners. That's $1,000 each. I mean, you start counting in the thousands. 75,000 in household, like clothing and other belongings. At least 20 to 30,000 in furniture, not including appliances. Appliances, yep, you're looking at about 10 to 20,000 in appliances. It's just amazing how much I lost. But you know what? You brush yourself off. You look forward. And what are you gonna do? There's nothing else you can do. This bank, I'm not sure if this was Bank of the Islands or what, but it was an old branch. I know it was a CNS Bank once. It was a Nations Bank once. It was just recently purchased, and they were going to refurbish it. I can see people in there working, so maybe they are going to. But it's just saying too much damage. You give as much hopium as you want. The Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal will not let this thing reopen. You'll have to rip this down to the concrete and studs. And why? It's going to be cheaper to demolish and to rebuild from scratch. So look at this. We're coming up to the Fort Myers Beach RV Resort. This up here, I mean, you can still see that crane over there with that big dump truck. They're still picking up the mangled debris of RVs and manufactured homes and fifth wheels and you name it, campers. Look at that. There's a home right there on stilts, totally exposed to the sun. Now you have yourself a it's not really a home, it's more of a deck. A concrete deck. And there's too much glass here on the sidewalk. I'm gonna try to go on the road. Let's see what happens here. Hello. So over here there was tons of wooden structures. They're all gone. Tons of trees too. I mean, that's the one thing about Fort Myers Beach I love the integrated trees surrounding the homes. You know, it's that wild look, and now it's kind of like, you know, it's going to look like Bonita Beach or Davis Boulevard when all said and done. This is the Red Coconut RV Park and the Fort Myers Beach RV Park, and you know, it's you can't imagine. There is just tons of devastation there. But it was worse. I mean, all these buildings are destroyed. Now it's an emergency command center for Lee County Sheriff. And look here, this is the beach side. There was one of those inlets I'm talking about. They just filled that in last week, but that was big. Again, all the infrastructure is gone here too. So the plumbing is gone, all the electrical is gone. And here, Red Coconut, they're all gone. You have some manufactured homes looks like they survived back there, but they didn't. Those are the ones that were washed down. The ones that were made really good, but they still floated like boats. There's a house over there. You can just see it. I'm pointing at it. The metal roof looks like it survived, but the house collapsed underneath it. So unfortunately, the metal roof went down with it. And then over here, Junkaroos. Junkaroos, just the sign, it says junk, which is fitting because it's all gone. And you can see the amount of sand that they had to scrape off. This is all the sand here that came, the extra sand that was just on the sidewalks. Look, there's a pile here, there's a pile there, there's a pile everywhere. Even everywhere you look, there's extra sand. I mean, it never was that tall there. Just that extra sand was deposited there. And you can see the beach, how huge it is. But Junkaroo, that's it. Just a junk and a pile of sand. So look at that beautiful house there. They say they made that well. See, it had a little damage there on the little corner. That's it. And then here's again another 7-Eleven gas station. Look at that. The gas area, not the pumps, but the gas overline pretty much survived. But the 7-Eleven itself, gone. Well, when I say gone, they had demolished it completely. And those buildings in the back, they look like they were made in 1960. See, they survived, except obviously water got in them. So. And the cell tower, thank goodness, survived. That was one of the few wins. Again, over here you got some new homes. They survived. See, they got very high. Again, 20 feet was the magic number. Again, some roaring waves did get higher than that, but if you're a minimum of 20 feet, you know, it'd be nicer if you're 25, then you survive. Hold on. I have to go back again. This is getting, I only stopped for quarters, and I don't know, I saw something that looked like a quarter, which is terrible. I really want to find briefcases full of money, but you know what? Quarters add up. I don't know if I can find it now. It was, I have hopium. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I've been seeing lots of porcelain and nickels, not nickels, but a lot of pennies. I don't pick them up. Quarters, I'll stop. Let's see, now I got the sun at my angle. Let's see here. I doubt I'll see it. It could have been a bottle cap too. Some of these bottle caps look like quarters. Anyway, that one, that's a loss there. All right, it's back on the road here. All right, so that's the Sprint building with the cell tower. That, to the most part, survived. Although I can hear a generator in the background. Again, now we're gonna start noticing open space here on the water. There's just a lot of old wooden structures that are gone. Even here, there was a house on top of those pilings. And driving down this road, you're going to see there's a lot of missing homes. Every single lot here was built on. This was a build out. There was nothing left here, nothing left to build on because all the lots were built on. Now you have all this open space ready to be built. And here's some nice people cleaning up. The garbage people, for the most part, don't take garbage anymore. So you have to bag your garbage. So all these big piles that are in front of people's homes, the garbage people are not going to take them anymore. I don't know why. They should jump out of their comfy air conditioning garbage trucks and take care of some of this, but they're not helping. So you have to bag your stuff, and they jump out, stomp their feet. They have to lift up a bag and throw it in the garbage truck. Come on. Anyway, here's more open space. Again, some more rich people built rich homes, and they have the money to put boards on the floor and make it even look fashionable, the boards they put up. But you know, probably minor damage. They probably have like a rust line going down their marble driveway, and they have to put those fancy boards around it and just collect more on insurance. Probably collecting $100,000 in insurance just for like a little rust line that went down their marble thing, and they're just going to pressure wash it out, and that's it. All right, so here's a home that got some severe roof damage. Obviously, there's hopium here, but the Fort Myers Beach Fire Department will not allow that. Like this place here, the floor was completely taken out. It looks like the home survived, but if the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal takes a look at that, you're going to be in trouble. The one nice thing about the hurricane, and it's sad to talk about, kind of like a morbid, is that here's the FEMA recovery area. Is that all these pay for parking things got wiped out, which is a good thing, because I thought that was criminal, trying to charge people to park and enjoy themselves on the beach. And I'm just so glad that the hurricane almost targeted them first, wiped out those ugly boardwalks and wiped out those meters. So they're using this as a little trash repository area too. There used to be a food bank back there. I'm not sure if there's still one, but that church there provided most of the free food. I think on Tuesdays or something. Looks like there was like a little tiny drive up and you can get something to eat. That house there, that roof got kind of peeled back a little bit, and it's a wooden house, so it's done. It's going to be knocked down. Anytime you have pilings that are off center, like that one has at least 2 pilings off center, it's not. The Fort Myers Beach fire marshal is going to say nope, it needs to come down. So that building is going to come down. So you see a lot of newer buildings. They're going to stay up. So that's a nice building there, and you have no neighbors. So this property is now worth more, even though the ground floor got hit. Oh, this is the property where there was a huge inlet. This inlet, you see, it came across the road here a little bit. That's what this asphalt is. And look how wide this inlet was. And look, if you look back towards this house, you'll see how it encroached on the foundation. Look at this. Yeah, that was a huge inlet. That was when the water was flowing back out to the Gulf of Mexico. Here's a church here, the whole ground floor. Look at that, totally gone. Again, you have to see it at slow speed. Here's a house I filmed the other day where the roof pretty much survived, but the house underneath it collapsed. Sad. So here's a rich house that took a lot of damage. Again, they may have been 18 feet up, not 20 feet, and there's a lot of work to be done there. Although still, that house is worth a lot of money. Still going to fetch good money. Still going to fetch $2 million just because of the land it's on. And look at this open space now. Open space. Both sides of the road. People living in campers. There's a little tiny teardrop camper. I don't know if you can see it over there. Someone's got a tent and a teardrop camper. They must have paid about $1,000 for the teardrop camper, and they're living in it over there. So they got a tent, and they got an umbrella, and they got a little tiny teardrop camper. That's pretty cool. Sad though. They probably own that home. They're just down here. They're just down here for the winter, and it's a real bitter Christmas. It's sad. Again, open space by the beach. This is one of the longest stretches of devastated homes. Again, there was all homes here, all beautiful, lush property, and the property will come back. Believe me, by next year, if nobody cuts this stuff, next year summer rainy season, it'll be here. There's a home there. The staircase was like ripped up, and see this one here. They're trying to rebuild. Do not touch. Yeah. Again, that Fort Myers Beach fire marshal, he'll take one look at it, he'll slap his red sticker on it. You're done. Like this thing here is done. Although someone's trying to live here, it says, no trespassing means fire marshal stay out. That's basically what that means. But yeah, all the staircase wiped out. I don't know how he gets up there. Maybe a grappling hook. It's like a tree fort you would make out in the woods. You would need a grappling hook to get up on. There's a house that collapsed. There's a portable power unit that they put in. That's probably to move the solid waste through the plumbings, through the sewer system. More open space. There was a couple homes here we just passed that were survived per se, but again, they sustained some damage. Open space. Some more crews working. Look, there's a house there. Again, up and down these blocks. I'm not going to go down these streets, but there's a house that a lot of homes like that you'll see down there. Crunch. You're going to have more homes by the Gulf of Mexico here that took the brunt of it, because when the Hurricane Ian was spinning, it just pushed that surf, that surge, you know. And some of them, where it got close to the eye, was near 7 feet. So you had 7 feet plus the 12.5 was near 20, and traveling between 5 and 10 miles an hour. So with wind gusts near 185, which could have caused those 3-foot waves to have so much force, rolling force behind them, even a 3-foot wave could have done a lot of damage. Well, this was a tiki on the beach, tiki hotel. Sad. I think after Hurricane Ian, there was like a couple hotels that were condemned, and I didn't think they were that bad, and they were knocked down. In fact, that's where that's where Junkaroo was near, and they forced them to knock down some of those hotels, which I thought was bad. But in comparison, hotels this time, I see worse hotels that have been left standing, and the Fort Myers Beach Fire Marshal hasn't destroyed them. So again, it's all political favor. If you're willing to kick that guy back some money, it seems like, then he's looking a blind eye in your direction. That's a nice house there. See, that survived. So definitely the first floor got it, but they got the money to fix. And these looks like Wind Club. Oh no, Whitecap. That survived. They were just recently built. You can see that they've already, the roof though was ripped off, but they're putting a new roof on. That's good. And it looks like the first floor, and it did sustain damage. I can see evidence where they had to fix some of the railings there. So the waves got that high too, just on top of the first floor. And that's at least 20 feet. And then over here, you got some places that were being built during Hurricane Ian. Construction was halted right near the Publix. Publix was closed, and they probably lost most of their food inside the store. But their building survived, but who knows how much sand they got inside the store. So anyway, I'm going to stop the video right now. We'll drive down a little further, see if I can video some more.